This is Eastmans Elevated podcast. I have on great guests that are really knowledgeable, consistently successful. We're able to dive deep down the rabbit holes of these different subject matters of shooting, of physical fitness, of mental toughness and drive. All the different skills that make up a complete hunter that you can become.
Here's your host, Brian Barney.
Hey, what's happening, guys? Got a brand new podcast, a brand new segment. So this was recorded on the hunt. So this is a pretty cool deal. I'm really excited to release it to you guys and see what you think. I did back-to-back mule deer hunts. They were both high country hunts. Did Colorado and Wyoming. I hunted a lot with my buddy Dan, and then we'd separate or split up and hunt. And then I also had a cameraman for part of it, so you'll hear Logan on the recordings. And I just tried to turn it on, you know, when we'd have action, something would happen, or periodically throughout the day, and just update you and let you know how it was going. I think it's really neat because it's so authentic. Like, you get to be on the hunt with me day by day. You get to be with me when I get frustrated, when I'm excited when I spot a buck. You guys are with me when I do, you know, a 10-hour grind with my backpack on, you know, with my headlamp in the dark. You get to hear my thought process and how I handle adversity and everything in between. So I think this is a really cool experience. Excited to release it to you guys. So we'll get this thing rolling. Just want to thank our sponsor for today's show, Sitka Gear. Sitka builds the best technical mountaineering gear on the planet. I absolutely trust their gear for every hunt I go on. I trust it from early season to late season. They have such well-designed, intelligent pieces, and with their layering system and using their insulating layers in their shell, I can survive anything, keeps me in the mountains longer, and ultimately makes me more successful. So if you're in the market for any new piece of gear, make sure to check out Sitka. And with that, we're just cruising along here at Eastman's. We got another hunt we're going to try to film here. Going to try to film an elk hunt. So we just had a bunch of weather, and so just kind of getting all my stuff together, getting my work done, and looking at taking off again. So fortunate. So many days this year in the field, and you know, chasing my own dreams and helping buddies be successful, and just had an absolute riot. It just doesn't get any better than this. So I know the guys at Eastman's are having some success too. I saw Dan arrowed a really good bull earlier in the season, and so it's just an exciting time of year, and I'm definitely redlining and finding my limits and getting a bunch of stuff done, and really enjoying the process. So let's get into this thing. So this is the live hunt. A new segment for us, Eastmans Elevated. Here we go.
I'm just starting the first recording.
Oh, copy. Cool.
Yeah. So, audio experience. So, Colorado.
Yeah.
2019.
Colorado high country muleys.
We drove up a road for 3 hours.
Bounced our head off the window a couple times.
Hit the trailhead here, and we're just climbing now. We're making the ridge. We can keep going. Like, I just want to do 10 to 15 minutes every day, and kind of explain what goes on. So right now, we're stoked beyond belief.
Yeah, it's freaking killer.
Yeah, with a few guys at the trailheads to be expected. Met a really nice guy there. He's hunting mule deer. He's got a week back in here. But yeah, he'll be great back in here. This country's huge. There's plenty of it.
Room for people, so it'll be good. Good weather so far. Breezy, a little overcast. Pretty killer.
It's supposed to be 0% chance of rain today, but we already just heard our first thunder and a couple storms around here. So 0% down in the town, 100% up here. But let's just keep hiking and just talk and give it like a good 10-15 minute intro, or whatever we feel like talking about, and then we'll try to touch in each night on the stock during the day.
Let everybody know what's going on.
And then I'll put it together as a podcast. So I did get this idea from Cody Rich. He did the audio experience, and he mic'd up and did his whole hunt last year. And I just did a podcast with him and Ryan Lampers, and we were talking about it. And it's just such a great idea, and I love our podcast we do like right after the hunt.
Yep.
And
so fresh in your head, and you remember all the small details.
Right. Yeah. And so I'd like to do like a story and try to capture it that way, but also just try to capture the authenticity of a hunt. Like, like right now, starting to breathe hard, climbing at 13,000.
Wondering where the oxygen went.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
But in frustration, oh, here we go.
There it is. Look at that.
Starting to get our first peek at country here. It hasn't given us a look hardly all day.
Big country.
Barely
Huge.
seen some tops, but starting
Few
to.
deer on the way in.
Yeah,
Couple deer on the way in, and it looks gamey, like really, really good.
we've never been here, but it's so green this year. And we had a green year like this in 2010 in Colorado.
Was it 10?
Yep.
Double down on 10?
Yeah. Killed 2 bucks, but there were just so many extras that year, and the feed was so green. And I thought that was the normal. But that's like a 1 every 10 years. You know, I think this year is a great year for feed.
Yeah, dude, hunting in the salad bar. That's what it's about. Mule up here, she's so lush. It almost feels just like early summer up here.
Yeah.
So it's just really cool. Truck said it was still like almost 80. Honestly, it feels like 68 maybe. Like right around that 70 mark, so it's not bad.
No, not bad at all.
Feels good. A little breeze feels really nice.
Yeah. So we expect to find some pressure. Our plan is we're just going to make it a handful of miles. There's so many good basins right off the start. We just got to get a look at them.
Yeah, look at that. We went light. We got one little camp between both of us, so both of us 5 minutes to put it up, 5 minutes to take it down, and we're moving to another camp. I bet we camp at a different spot almost every single night.
Yep. Keep on the move, check these basins, stalk if there's a buck we want. But these first basins are so good, we don't want to go rushing by them without having a look.
No,
and then, if there's too much pressure, if we don't see what we need to see, then we just keep moving on. And like you say, move that camp.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree. Find our water sources so we know where to go, and call it good. Find some bugs.
Yeah, we'll get a good push in here, get a look at these drainages, but we're excited. Felt some rain, 0% today.
Oh yeah, that'll cool it down.
Yeah, but
Keep the lightning away for now.
yeah, we're good to go. So yeah, it's looking like it's big country. We're just getting a peek at a drainage, but we're gonna kind of walk away. We decided not to look at this lowest drainage. Just a few camps around, and it's just not back far enough. So we'll keep heading back, but
Opening's what, tomorrow?
yeah, opening day tomorrow. Hoping we get a good look tonight.
Looks
And
like there's quite a few, well, not quite a few people came in, did a day up here glassing, probably made a morning push. So, everybody's kind of getting a feel for it. I do believe 70% of guys up here are looking for bulls. So, which is kind of cool.
that's so true, as elk season's open up here, and it's a good elk spot.
Yeah.
So you're right, we already ran into a handful of guys down there that were hunting elk. So that's good for us.
Yeah, I agree completely. So a little bit of pressure here and there, and people can blow on their bugles, it's fine.
Yeah, they'll probably get into some good elk hunting like in this alpine early season where these elk want to be, I think.
Yeah, it looks lush, so I think so.
All right, well, we're huffing and puffing. We got to get to
It's
a
hard
place
to
we
talk
can...
while you're hiking, right? It's like, yeah, let's just be quiet for a second. Yeah, it's good.
It is, though. It's real time,
Yeah.
And I just really think, like, authenticity and being able to hear this hunt as it progresses, not knowing the outcome,
Yeah,
I think is a great experience.
So about this hunt, I gotta put in my little 2 cents. On the way down here, I still had an antelope tag, so I wanted to throw that in the making. We ended up filling an antelope tag on the way down, which is pretty cool. So we got plenty of food to eat while we're up here.
Yeah, I got them on process and then on ice and on salt, frozen solid.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're good to go. But
What a good start to the hunt, though, right?
yeah, you had a Montana tag. We're
Yeah.
on vacation. We can drive throughout the night.
Yep.
And just look over on this public ground, and there's a buck with a bunch of does in a perfect spot.
Yeah, he was. Park the truck, we bail out in shorts and flip-flops and just make a really good approach. Took our sweet time and crawled out there and got really low in the grass. And the flip-flops is kind of funny, but what it did is it slowed us way down because we went through a bunch of cactus. So it just made us walk so slow. So our approach in the whole deal was basically perfect. And made a good shot. And There it is. Got a nice buck. And yeah, pretty excited about it.
Yeah, nice buck, dude. Way to start out the vacation. Nice shot.
Yeah.
Way to really sit on your shot. That's not our helicopter dropping us off, if you can hear that.
Too bad. I mean, maybe he's coming to drop us off a 6-pack, but I don't think so. Fire watch.
All right. Well, yeah, so antelope down, it's already a success. Oh, we're just cruising.
It's 3 o'clock.
I think we're getting to, what, it gotta be, I wanted to camp at around 11:08.
This feels about 11:08.
I think we're 11:04, 11:06,
Okay.
maybe getting close to that.
Yeah.
We're just hiking this really benchy alpine timber. We're still talking because we're not quite to the spot yet.
What do you want to do? You want to do like a morning deal after we find some bucks, midday deal, and then give it an evening, like 20-30 minute talk in the evening maybe, or 15-minute talk?
Yeah.
Like 2-3 times a day?
Yeah, I'd say we just check in if anything happens.
Unless it gets really exciting, you know?
Yeah. And play it by ear and try to capture the hunt.
Yeah.
Through this audio. I think it'll be really cool to put together.
Something different.
Probably can't hear anything on
I
my
probably can't hear a word
recording
I'm saying,
device,
just
but
some background noise.
we'll
right
have to
here.
listen back and make sure it works. But yeah, this is the first one hiking in, so.
Yeah, look to your left, look at that country.
Oh, man.
Holy cow. Man.
That's sick. We're in the alpine right now. We're probably getting to decent muley country. It's probably does or smaller bucks, so
Sure.
we better sign off and
Look at
go
those flowers
silent.
and stuff. Everything's coming up. I mean,
Yeah.
Man, it's nice.
I'd say we like creep up here and then start peering over the
Yeah.
top and just grab some
Take our
vantages
time. We're in
and see what's
country.
going. I'd say we wrap up higher, glass down in with our camp on our back, and then
Perfect.
we'll have a good idea what's around and we can drop down to that camp spot I marked. Storms don't look too bad, huh? Just some sporadic ones here and
Yeah,
there.
all the way around us, 360. Yeah, it's raining right there.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I haven't figured out which way the weather's coming yet, but I need to look at wind direction and
Let's
things.
see,
North is this way. That's west.
wind's coming straight from west.
Yeah, straight from west. I don't think that's a thermal coming up the hill. I think that's a directional, don't you?
Yeah, I think thermal's still.
And I
low.
thought it was gonna be that way, So it's gonna make it tough on these backside basins,
Wait for that short. You have to really wait for some sun to get on it. And
Hopefully the directionals aren't too heavy where they blow and gust over the top and
swirl,
circle,
yeah.
and it's more like the thermals just take over up there and come uphill.
Over the ridge and just take it up and be on over the top of them,
Well, and who knows, the wind can change. We better look at the report, but
Yeah, we got a few days, but we got to be smart. We can't really blow anything up. We can't
No.
afford to, keep blowing basins up. So we got to be really careful up here and make everything count.
yeah, super low impact for sure. That's why I do want to camp on this backside. And there could be bucks over here too. This is starting to look pretty good, really.
It is, yeah, it's
And
pretty.
this is like, you can't glass this anywhere. There could be a buck just living in one of these
Yeah,
meadows coming
bedded
out
in
in
the
these
shade
trees.
right here,
Yeah,
yeah.
heck yeah. So,
Okay.
all right, well, we're going to keep cruising, get to a spot. We'll check in with you guys, let you know how it's going here.
Yeah, realistic or real life hunting.
Yeah, audio experience.
Realistic hunting. What does that mean?
Well, it is realistic too. All right, see how to stop this thing. All right, well, we're just hiking down in the dark here. Gosh, we went and made a good roll, set our camp in a good spot. We located that pretty decent buck. I don't know, he's like 160s, 170s, but he's really heavy and he's got big back forks. We got some good photos of him.
Yeah, really pretty buck. I think he's just a solo buck.
Yeah, it seems like the numbers are a little low, but we just made our first push in here. I only say that because we just looked at like 4 or 5 of the most epic basins off the backside that I've just been drooling over.
No kidding.
They look so good, cliffy and green and good feed, and
A few deer in there, but
Yeah.
nothing big or not very many numbers. I mean, man, what, 8 deer down there?
yeah, we spotted a couple bucks. So we're just trying to make sense of it all. We saw the one big one in the buckbrush. It's one that, I think, Dan, you'd be psyched with. Like, I think we should give it some effort in the morning.
Yeah,
Like, let's
he's
talk
a-
about our
he's a
game plan, but
Good, tall, mature. I think he's not like a 3-year-old deer. He's a
No.
mature buck.
yeah, he's heavy
He's
and he's
wide,
really
tall.
tall. Yeah, he's probably got 20-inch G2s.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good buck.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think we look for him in the morning and look to make a play, and then from there we roll up our camp and keep moving out.
Yep.
Let's make another 4 or 5 mile push and new base camp, and then explore from there. Tomorrow's opening day, so we're still stoked. Just been a long day, packed in here, looked at a bunch of basins. We're gonna grab some water here. In fact, I'll just keep this on as we always get chatting once we get stopping, but yeah, good day so far. Man, you couldn't have picked prettier country. Oh my God.
Gosh, the pictures we took today are just so cool. I told you, we have to blow up a couple of those. They're just so cool.
Yep, and we did find water. You know, up here in this high country, it's like we've never been up here, so we don't know where we can get water. So I had stuff marked on Onyx, you know, where I thought I could see water on the maps, and a lot of them are dry. It's really green up here. It's looks good, but there isn't a ton of water. We knew of a pond down below us, and so we knew we could get it there. And then when we got up on top of the ridge, we kind of glassed some in this stream. So we're just getting our headlamps on now. We can't really see it. It might be a muck pit. I don't know.
I don't know. I can barely hear it running, so I'm not real sure what it's going to be.
Yeah, but it'll be some water. We need to keep drinking. We're around, we went over 12,000 today, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to keep drinking the water, get some weird dreams. Dan had some weird dreams last night.
Oh, man.
We pulled over and slept in just some state land that was close to the highway or whatever. But there was what was that? What's that? The jumping cactus, choyo?
Something like
I'm gonna say a slur before I say what the cactus is, but that jumping cactus, we didn't expect to see it, and Dan,
it attacked me. It was horrible.
There was some like right outside his door, so as soon as he jumped out, in flip-flops, you know, then he was in some cactus, and man, I ended up in it and tried to clear a spot for our mattresses. I thought for sure somebody was gonna pop their mattress.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. But yeah, some weird, just, you're a little bit of elevation and you're a little sleep deprived, and then all of a sudden you're just waking up out of a just crazy dream. It's like it you spinning. You're like, whoa, wait.
Dude, your emotions are tied to them. They seem so real.
Yeah.
Your brain just concocts these like fuzzy, it seems real, but everything's fuzzy. You know, it's so wild. But all right, pretty nice.
Night, though.
Yeah, dude, nice night on our side. Clouds kind of cleared off. Never did storm over us. Few rain showers around, but
cleared now.
Yeah, awesome, man.
Big crazy stars tonight. Ooh, they're already showing up.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's gonna go
cool.
off. Last night we could see so many.
We did catch a headlamp, so we do have another bro in here somewhere. So looked like he was heading back down the trail, but I'm not sure about that.
Oh, you think he was headed back down the trail, back down the ridge?
I'm not positive. I only saw his headlamp once, and then it looked like he turned, and I saw it bounce just a couple times.
Good. I thought he was coming like our way.
I'm not sure. Like
there's going to be guys around. It's public land. And there's a lot of tags. There's plenty of country, but it is always nice to get it fresh, you know.
Yeah.
And it just feels so good when it's just you versus the deer. But we know that buck that we found, we're just not that far back in right now, you know. We're the first push back in here. And, you know, we didn't gain a ton of elevation, so I think we just need another push to really find the deer.
I do.
The country and habitat looks right. And the other thing is, dude, is like, this is just big, giant country. You see all the secondary living, like those bucks could disappear for days. But even up in this alpine environment, it's not like one group of trees or one basin. This is all great muley country, every basin. So they just have so many spots to be. So, you know, I think we just need to find where the bucks prefer.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I really got to think about that buck. He's a really good, mature buck. I really would be happy with him. That's a great buck. So, you know, I don't know. I don't think it's correct. I don't think it's right to walk away from a good shooter buck. So, I mean, if there's a play available, I probably should, try to pounce on it. But we'll just see. We'll just see what it looks like. If we get up there in the morning and we got 15 headlamps coming our direction, I think we have camp with us and we can, we can get out of there, or we can push back and see if we can get into some virgin country, you know?
Yep. I think you're right. Yep. Keep rolling on, for sure.
So we can put on a lot of miles in this country, so I think we're just going to have to do it.
Yep, that's it. Put on our big boy pants. So, all right. Well, we're going to get some water, try to make camp, try to make something for dinner here. I'm so hungry. I'm going to crush some food. So, we'll check in with you guys soon. I can never turn this thing off. Okay, morning of day 1 here. So me and Dan split up. Dan found that buck. He was going to keep an eye on him and try to get a stalk, that one from yesterday. So woke up early, made the ridge. I've been covering country. Been catching does like in these upper features where I think I should be catching bucks. So just kept traveling country, and now I'm sitting on a handful of about 5 bucks and one great big shooter in there. So I'm pumped. He's a big, heavy 4-point. I mean, he's living at the gnarliest spot you could live at, the absolute top of the world. So I think I could make it to where he's at, but he's in a gnarly spot. I see there is a camp down here, down off to my left. I have a different vantage point. This is probably a couple miles away from his camp, but there is another guy back here, so keep that in mind. But yeah, first day and got a good buck located. We'll just see if he puts himself in a good spot or not. I got a really good vantage point of him here. If he beds on this face, and there's some rock and quite a bit of shade, and if he does that, I'm gonna try to close the distance. Maybe get to another spot where I could locate him, but it's my play for the day, so I'm pretty stoked. Dan's over off that other buck, so hopefully he gets a good play on that. So we're looking pretty good here. It doesn't look like bucks everywhere, but turning a couple up anyways, so. All right, well, I'll check in later. I'll be sitting here just baking in the sun at, I don't know I'm about 12,400 feet here. So this sun's intense. Forgot my gloves and my face mask down at the camp, so I gotta just cover up with my hood, wrap my sleeves over like I'm a 4-year-old or something, but we'll make it work. Just stoked. Man, that's a nice buck. I would love to get a chance at him. I mean, probably spend the whole day trying to watch him, trying to play on him. Yeah, hopefully I can get a good win, those other bucks positioned correctly. Man, it's just awesome. This is what you wait absolutely all year for, is a chance like this. And he's a ways away. He's way up at the top. He may not bet in a good spot, but man, just to play the game, be able to see a buck like that on public ground, new unit, first time I've been in here. It's going to be tough, but man, am I stoked. So, all right, well, I'll check in with you guys, let you know how it's going. All right, just giving a check-in. First day here. It's gotten pretty western. It's been pretty exciting. So, told you guys I found that buck. God, he was a big, heavy one. All the way to the top of the mountain. I rolled down and then started taking the ridge, and then ran into that camp that I was telling you about. And it was Dustin from Backcountry Podcast, one of those, like, such a small world. The guy was so nice. He was packing up his camp. I wasn't sure if they could see that buck or not, just because it was at least a couple miles away, and there was another mountain in between, or so I thought. So I went down there, checked in, talked to Dustin, and asked him if he had seen that buck, and he had been watching it too. And he said, "You're all ready to go. You go for it. He's right up there." So we kind of hemmed and hawed and backed and forth. I wanted to make sure I wasn't stepping on his toes, but really wanted to stalk that buck. He was in a good spot. Dustin gave me the go-ahead, which is just awesome karma, right? Like, public lane guy. You just run into guys, and if I dropped down and saw somebody was on that buck or somebody was glassing them, that was closer set up, I would have let them have the stock, but super nice. Gave me the stock. It was pro up there. Gosh dang. I was able to get across from this buck. He was bedded. I could see all his buddies and him kind of hidden behind a rock. I was 65 yards, which almost makes me think I should have shot him in his bed. His elbow was tucked back and his shoulder. I just didn't have that big a spot to aim at. So I could stand and hide behind the rock, and I just figured as soon as he stands up, I'm gonna shoot him. And I'm hiking back right now if I'm breathing hard or if you get wind noise, but so waiting for him to stand. I was probably in bow range for like an hour and a half, and the thermals were all good. It's sunny and hot, but I think those directionals started to fight it, and I had a couple winds that blew at me where I went, oh shit, oh no, he's gonna win me, you know, and then he didn't. There was a draw in between me and him, so I thought it was pretty safe. I mean, an hour and a half with good wind, and it's like mid-morning, you know, 11 o'clock, so good thermals. And all of a sudden, as they do, he just blew up out of there. I could have shot the other mature buck in there. I think he was a great big 2 or something. He hung around, and then I worked down and tried to cut him off as they were circling down below me, and cut off that other big 2 and let him walk, and then grabbed my stuff and made it over the top to where those things looked like they were going, and watched him disappear down below me in some thick stuff in a basin. So I felt pretty good about it. Hung out up there, looked around, really waited for a while. And I just can't get an exact place on him, so I figured I'd scoot around and get the opposing hillside and really glass this basin and turn him up. If nothing else, just hang in here and wait till evening, because I think he's right in here. And then I see Dustin coming down the trail, and he walks up, and we kind of whisper back and forth. He said, what happened? I said, oh, they winded me. And I said, yeah, they disappeared down below me here. And he said, yeah. He said, I watched the stock and then put eyes on this buck and watched him about go over the top, and then he turned around in bed. And so Dustin's got the exact position on him and the play. So just a karma stock for him. I hope he kills that big buck. Letting me have that stock this morning was so nice. And so I just hope he gets on that buck and gets him killed. So I watched him kind of stalk down for a while. He's got a really good wind. I know kind of where the buck's at, but I can't glass him up. So I'm just kind of circling back here. And, there's some guys in here. I saw another couple guys glassing. Talked to Dan this morning. He had a close call on that buck, and he had a guy making a stock, a buck. They're not in every spot, but there's definitely, there's some deer around. And this Colorado backcountry looks awesome. So we just got to regroup. We left our camp light this morning to kind of travel. And I ended up so far away from it here. So I was going to hang out for the afternoon and see if I could locate that buck. But, I don't really want to push farther back without my camp. I already got a bunch of miles in elevation to get back. So I think I'll just go back. I don't have any service or anything, so I can't tell Dan what my plan is, but probably go back, load up camp. Got a couple options, and talk it over and figure out what we're going to do here. It is going to be like just going to have to separate ourselves from the competition too, Just got to find our own deal with some bucks around. And so, climbing now, can you tell? So, I think I'm going to have to make a big go. I don't want to start over at another trailhead. We've already got a bunch of miles in here. I've already proven there's bucks in here. I think I saw like 5 this morning, that one shooter. 7 does, some elk. So just got to get to the more remote stretches of this unit and try to kind of get away from the people. You hope you don't make a big go right back into somebody, but I think we got a good plan. I haven't seen any bucks, but I can just see this country that's just miles off, and this huge canyon separates us. I know Dan's game, probably all in. Probably just gotta load up our camp here, shove back. Might do some headlamp work tonight. Just kind of get away from the pressure and yeah, see if we can't find our own deal. So, dang good day muley hunting. Man, I know, I always say it, patience kills the buck. But I'd be lying if I told you that Marlin's statement of super aggressive, shoot them in their bed before they wind you, came into play there. Gosh, I had him calm and in an hour and a half bow range. I almost should have been more aggressive. I know I could have made that shot. There wasn't much wind. Could have taken my time. You're just trying to make the right moves. And God, he's a nice buck too. I don't know quite what he'd score. Really big backs, really heavy, nice fronts too. I mean, he's probably mid 180s. Guy might surprise a guy too. He might be 190s. He was that heavy. I mean, just gnarly bladed tines, you know. And his backs were so big. Just a beautiful buck, but goes to show, you know, what's in here. So, man, I got a good look at where that buck's laying down now. Where Dustin's stalking him. So, I better glass that up. Here's another little feature here as I hit this ridge. Going back, it's kind of below what everybody's been hunting. It sure seems so far starting to kind of figure it out. It's super high country. Like I don't know what that one I just topped was. I just stalked a buck on like 12.5 or something up there on the very tippy top. But I'm probably 12.1, 12.2, something like that. But these spots in these basins and these bowls where I'd normally see bucks in other states, Nevada, Wyoming, even Colorado before, Utah, I'm not picking up any deer down in it, in the trees. And these ones, these bucks, they were so high up on the mountain, not a tree in sight. I mean, there isn't a tree for a damn half a mile up there, just bedding in cliffs and grass. It's so neon green here, you guys. It's just crazy right now. So, I think I've been spotting these does like coming over the top in all these little basins, all these little steep spots. And like I saw 7 does this morning, a lot of singles and things. But so I'm thinking, just got to go up high where it's super gnar. That's where guys got to be glassing. So I'm gonna put my eyes on the hill here. We'll see if we can't turn up another one or get ready for this big move. But just like I tell you guys, just challenges on a hunt, you know. It wouldn't quite have been challenges if I arrowed that buck this morning, you know, the first day. But it would have been where I was stalking them and where I was hunting them and how far back I am. It's pretty killer. But, you know, you just got to be able to adapt on the fly to the conditions that you're given. Try to figure it out. New spot in Colorado. I've already found a couple shooters. Dan was hunting that one over there that we found yesterday. And I was hunting this new heavy one, so... you know, there's quite a bit of hunting pressure, but, you know, it's opening day, too. Guys will burn out, and all these bucks will be in here. Not, you know, not everybody, but I just know how pressure wanes, you know? But, gosh, I can see some just gnarly country across. I think that's where we gotta go. It's pretty far, but what do you do? All right, well... I'm gonna get some more here. I made it to the ridge here. I can glass where this buck's bedded that's Dustin stalking, and then there's another little feature here on the backside I'm gonna look at, kind of glass. So we'll see what happens. I'll let you know what our next move is. So Okay, rolling up camp. Me and him both made a good push today. So Dan, you recorded your stock. You were close on that buck, huh?
Yeah, got within bow range on the buck that I was wanting to. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Good play, you know, got within 45. Just the wind up here just swirls on you. Even a little cloud going in front of the sun just swirls the wind. So yeah, it just kind of blew up on me. But
Man, I thought I had a steady wind too. I think I was playing the same wind you were, and right about the same time the wind switched for both of us. But we've already got a bunch of miles in, but there's just too many guys in here. It's too much. It's too easy access.
Yeah.
There's just so many guys that are going hard nowadays, which is good. And on public ground, it's just, you got to find a way to separate yourself. And so for us, you know, we're miles back now, but I don't know. We got to put some big mileage on and try to go get over to that remote spot where we won't see anybody, where we can run our own deal.
yeah, there's too much of a main trail that just gets everybody right up into elevation, right up into what we would usually think be great muley country. It's just, there's a couple bucks here and there, but not what you think. I mean,
Exactly.
not for the country.
I don't know how many square miles we've covered so far of
man.
perfect alpine basins.
Yeah.
You know, I know, you know, I probably did 12 miles today out and back and a bunch of elevation. I mean, probably looked at a dozen drainage. I mean, together we probably looked at 20 different drainages here.
Oh yeah, easy. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a cool spot, that's for sure. It's just like I said, there's 10, 12 guys here today that I saw, and you know, everybody's really cool and really nice. Everybody kind of wants to talk to you and see what you're seeing, but we gotta get further back. You know, everybody wants to say they're going in deep, but I think we need to actually put our head down and put another 8 miles on, plus, you know, the 4 or 5 we already put on. So yeah, I think we're gonna be actually really deep. We'll be a long ways back.
Yeah.
Full day hike out, you know, it'll be good, but we just got to find some different land and maybe a place where there's no trails, you know, just get off and
It's off trail over
yeah,
there.
off trail. We'll find our own vantage points, and then yeah, I think it'll be really cool.
Yep. So we're just going to load up camp here and get trucking on the trail, and I'm sure we'll see a bunch of guys along the way, and we're just going to try to put some miles, go as long as we can. We might go into using the headlamp, or we might even pull up and camp and then start again in the morning. I'm just not sure how many hour pull it's going to be, but yeah, we're going to give it hell. We're going to go find some deer one way or another.
For sure, sounds good.
All right. All right, recording here. Oh my gosh. Sometimes you wonder what it's all for.
Yeah, I mean, we've been hiking since basically 3. It's pushing 9 now, just non-stop hiking to get back into a new spot. And I mean, putting on some miles, holy cow.
6 hours from where we were, and we both already had big days stalking those deer and chase them, so I bet we're both pushing 20 miles now and a bunch of vertical feet. We're both so worn out. I am over it, but we're getting up there. We're hoping to make it to some fresh country. Man, if I'm being totally honest, I'm just not seeing the numbers in here. I'm not seeing the doe numbers down low, the bucks up high. Those drainages that we cruised up there, they were so good.
Perfect.
But I just can't get, you know, I can't get this toxic mindset. But the other thing is reality. You can't stay where there's no deer. We got to keep moving.
Yeah, deer and people. I mean, yeah, no deer and a lot of people just doesn't make good hunting. So, yeah, got to bounce country. We're so far back now. I mean, if we run into a guy, I'm going to be impressed.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, I think we're going to have it to ourselves. So,
We lost the trail down there. That was great. We're already so tired, and we were on the trail, said we were on the trail, and started walking us down. We lost a bunch of elevation, had to climb back up.
Yeah, find a different trail and start again.
But we're on the right trail now. We were a little worried about water. We didn't grab it at the lake, which would have been smart, but you don't want to do your climbing with all your water, and there is so much water around here, but we need to make sure that we have enough for tonight, and then we'll find it tomorrow or whatever. So we got some water.
Yeah, make some coffee in the morning. It depends on how far we can go. We still got at least 2 strong, if not 3 or 4 hours of hiking to get up to where we want to be. So if we pull that off, well, then we're in it. But if not, we just gotta wake up really early and finish the grind in the morning. So
I know, we're starting to talk over game plan, like Dan says. We may have to lay up our camp and then go again in the morning and try to make it up, but we don't want to waste the morning in this fresh spot. But there too, we do have days. We can't just burn ourselves out tonight, and also we need a decent night's sleep.
yeah,
So
sleep and something to eat.
yeah, so it's dark now. We're gonna get some water, keep trucking, find a place to lay our heads and get these dang boots off for a while, but we'll find it, keep going, hopefully turn up some bucks tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Yep, all right. Okay, it's the morning time here. We made that huge go yesterday, and we were dang near delirious podcasting last night, but just did so many miles, so much elevation, and then all with a 25 to 40 pound pack. So we've got ourselves in this new area this morning. It's just daylight. We're just pushing towards the vantage point here. Dan and I were both close yesterday, so we're pumped, huh? Excited?
Yeah, excited. New country. I don't think anybody's been in here at all, so far enough away from everybody. I think we got an entire, what'd you say, 8, 9 different basins all to ourselves at the moment, so yeah, it could be really good.
Like Dan just said, walking up 200,000 acres of prime habitat, and we're not seeing the deer jumping does, but we have seen a handful of bucks. We have seen does. So we just got to find the buck party, or just find a buck, try to earn a stock. So we're super pumped right now. Gonna get on the vantage point. It's gonna unlock some brand new country we think nobody's tapped into. So we're hoping we got the plan here. Oh, it's looking so good. All right, over and out. We're gonna hit the vantage. All right, pretty sad recording here. We made it to the vantage point. We're still in good spirits. It's just, man, I mean, we grabbed the most epic vantage point for high country mule deer right now. We're looking at all 12 to 13,000 of just prime time. 360 degree view. And we can't find a doe. Can't even see a deer. It's just crazy. I just can't believe it. We can tell the populations are low, and we've only been in here for a couple days, but we've been covering country like madmen and looked in these, I guess it's actually 3 days with scouting or whatever, but I mean, we have looked in so many muley drainages that are just the absolute perfect habitat, and we're just having a tough time turning up deer. I saw 7 does yesterday, and we did see those bucks yesterday and got that play on them, but there's so many people over there. Everything was blowing up. I mean, there just wasn't even a chance to stay over there. So we made the big grind to get over here into new country, and we definitely got away from the people.
Yeah, there's nobody back here at all. But there's nothing else back here either.
No, so we're just struggling. It's tough. I never want to quit. I never want to give up. And we're still early in the hunt. And, you want to treat every hunt like it's your only hunt of the year and go as hard as you can. But, I mean, I don't know. We're definitely double digits from the truck. We're probably close to 20 from the truck now. We're thinking, I mean, I definitely don't want to give up, but it's reality too. You got to face the conditions you're under, and this is like searching this unit. I mean, there's some other spots with roads, but this is the biggest roadless country in here, and it's, high mountain mule deer country. They're just not in here. And so every range has different populations. There's so much habitat low, so much great high country mule deer habitat. So I wasn't sure if they were spread out or chased out by the sheep, but as we just keep covering country, we just keep seeing zeros. So we might give it the day. There's some really good basins on the backside of this far ridge here. So it'd be pushing another few miles over, and we're going to count up the drainages, but we've been having that conversation, and we're already in here. We've already got away from people, and it is Colorado. We did find 2 bucks that we got to hunt yesterday. It was probably, what do you think, 15 miles of range and basins all over, at least 10 miles of range with basins all over. And we found those 2 shooter bucks in there, which, points to me that I told Dan, when we started heading over here, I'm like, even if there's as many deer over here as there is where we started, you know, then we'll fill out because there's no people. But we just can't spot a deer. We just got the perfect vantage point. So, man, it's just hunting. The one thing we got weighing on us is we got a golden ticket in Wyoming. We got a really good tag in Wyoming that we know that we've hunted, that we've taken bucks out of. So that weighs on us. You're here, you're just like grinding out days and can't find deer while you got like a really good tag in Wyoming, and it's getting later and later. So, I mean, I'd lie if I'd say it's not on the back of our minds or we're not thinking about it. So, you know, and I know, you know, if we head back to the truck and, you know, there's another trailhead, there's some country up north, some more roaded country, but I just know it's going to be like a half-ass effort, you know, hike to a couple vantage points. I guess, you know, if we do go look north, like maybe we'd start seeing some deer. And if we'd start seeing some deer, it's worth diving in, you know, to a couple of those different spots. So, I mean, that's our play too. So we don't know. We got at least a day back to the truck, but so that's what we're toying with. We don't know what the heck to do. Pretty discouraged, like not seeing anything from this vantage. This is one of the best muley vantages I've ever been to. I mean, how many different peaks can we see that are, I mean, geez Louise.
You can look into a lot of the folds too. I mean, there's a lot of just amazing features that you just hold nothing right now. I don't know.
I'll take you guys some pictures, so don't go where my pictures are because it's a beautiful country. It looks like you find a million mule deer in here. It's just different ranges, and this is what you get, man. I mean, this is part of taking the chance and hunting 0-point units. Like, you're not hunting a 10-point unit that you know is good, that you know big bucks come out of. You're hunting a 0-point unit that nobody wants to come back to because they don't kill deer, not that many people. Like, you know it's going to be tough hunting, and so we're in for this. This is part of the process of finding new spots, but the truth of the matter is that, you know, not every spot you pick is going to be full of mule deer. You're not going to be able to find what you're looking for. And we did have our opportunity yesterday. Both Dan should have filled out. I should have filled out. I mean, I'm glad I didn't take that shot and try to force it. I'm glad I was patient, tried to wait. I mean, I rehashed it all day yesterday or on that miserable hike we had. Like, I just thinking about it, it's like, man, I made the right moves. Like, that'll equal a big mule deer eventually. And sometimes they just win. And so, I really think we've made the right moves. Just hasn't panned out yet, but we're in the backcountry. We're hunting. I mean, you really can't complain when you're hunting. You know, we're just trying to weigh all our options. You know, you'd hate to waste too many days here, you know, covering the kind of miles that we are and not turning up bucks. But I don't know. We're still early. We don't got to be back yet. I'd say we make that ridge. I know we did 1,000,000 miles yesterday, but go take that ridge and let's go look at a few basins that nobody's peered down into. It's got a little bit of timber. They look like a more of a bold basin.
Look at that little weasel. Oh, I missed him. There he goes. See him?
Oh yeah.
He's cool.
Look at him. He's probably never seen a person.
He's like, what are you guys?
A little weasel checking us out. A white belly.
There is game here.
Yeah. Well, might just have to change what we're bow hunting. I did see a cow elk this morning. Boy, it'd be tough elk hunting in here too. We've ran into some elk hunters. I saw a herd yesterday with a bull and then a couple bulls off on another feature, but we're talking so many miles away. Like, I'm seeing them. It'd take you a day just to get to there. So, yeah, it'd be tough elk hunting in here too. A lot of prime habitat that just isn't being used by game. And I can tell that over the years through history, it hasn't been used by game. I'm not seeing the beds in all the spots where mule deer like to bed. Like, you glass at the tops of the trees and in these different spots. And I'm just not seeing the beds in here where they've just been using it real thick. I mean, there's definitely a handful of mule deer in here. We've seen a handful, but it just doesn't have that good population where they've been using it for thousands of years. And I don't know why. I mean, and this could be, you know, there was a bad winter 2 years ago, but I just don't like, and I know the spot I hunted in Colorado was tough last year too. So, I mean, we could still be dealing with a bad winter. Definitely the food hasn't burned off. It's neon green up here. Yeah. And we're not seeing any deer in the low country either. Hiking through, we haven't even jumped a doe yet, covering 20 miles of timber and sparse timber and subalpine. Haven't even jumped a deer yet. So that kind of tells you the numbers. I think the stuff we did hunt, we just covered really effectively, and we turned up every deer in it. And I can't believe there's not a handful of deer where we're at now, but that's life. So, all right, just thought I'd give you guys the update. Oh, it isn't pretty. I don't know if this one's going to end well, but like I say, we got some plays. We might go to the ridge, might go to the northern side of the unit, might just spend a couple more days trying to hunt since we have the tag, try to make the most of it, make sure it's not a place we want to come back to. And I really feel like we've given it our all so far, you know. Every spot we need to get, every spot we need to be, we're going. So we're just going to keep doing that, give it a couple more days here, see if we can maybe turn up a buck between us. And then going to have to make tracks, get to Wyoming, start the hunt there. I mean, I said from the beginning of the year that this was a scouting trip and, you know, that one deer between the two states and I'd be psyched. So I don't know, it looks like the chips are stacking towards Wyoming, but I don't know. I better make another pan through this country. We're on the absolute master vantage point, so I better keep looking. It wouldn't take much for one buck to be in a fold or bedded this morning, you know, so I'm going to keep looking and we'll make a plan. Okay. So I wasn't sure if it was recording. We relocated here, so we're in the truck. Big pull to get out of there, huh?
Sorry, but are you talking to somebody right now?
I think it's because my phone's plugged into that thing.
Oh.
But I'm getting the audio there on that.
Okay, sorry.
So I think, yeah, so I know that's why I paused at the beginning.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're on the same page.
Yeah, so we're in the truck. We decided to bail out. We were talking about those basins off the backside, maybe going over there. I think that was, said that on the recording. I don't know. I'm half delirious right now,
yeah.
But
it's a long pull out today, so.
Yeah, we were going to look over those basins, but they were all cliffed out on the backside there with not much access, and so, you know, we decided it was just time to pull the plug. We had covered that. We added up our miles, and we were in between 40 and 50 miles in the mountains with, you know, a 40-pound pack on for most of it. So, you know, we covered it, and we looked in every one of those drainages that I had marked on my map. There was like 3 or 4 that we didn't get to, but the mountain they were over the top was just like gnarly.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Like even me, we looked at it yesterday and where we wanted to go to go find new country, and it was looking across there. We both sat down and looked at it, and it was just so far away, and it was like, well, we got our spot, but we made it. You know, last night pushed hard, got to the vantage point this morning. We were so excited. We thought we were going to turn them up. We didn't see one deer from that vantage point.
Not one deer, and we had a 360, biggest basins you've ever seen. I mean, more ground, so much acreage, it's just unbelievable. And for us to not find a doe, I mean, it was like kind of heartbreaking. It just doesn't make sense. We were up there at prime time. We've had scopes on it. We moved around. I mean, we covered it. It was covered. We just can't turn a deer up. I just cannot believe the population, how low density the deer are in such gorgeous country. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, it's just different ranges have different densities, and who knows if it's from the summer range to the winter range or the seasons in between, predation, could have been bad winter, like who knows. Just got to keep checking spots like that, and we did turn up 2 bucks and got 2 stocks. Like that is absolutely worth the price of admission. We both had close calls on those bucks.
Yeah, heck yeah, for sure. In bow range, I mean, just playing the wind game. But yeah, I mean, for the amount of hunting pressure, low numbers of deer, and you and I both had to play on 2 different bucks. There was 2 shooter bucks up there. We both got to play on one of them.
Yep.
So yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, 40 to 50 miles in 3 days, and probably 10,000 feet of vert or more.
Yeah, just just going for it.
Yeah, I know. Yesterday and today both felt like I was running a marathon or running an ultra marathon, which I've done before, where it's just like, man, you just got to keep it. It stops. It gets a little grueling at times. It's just mentally taxing, physically taxing. You're starting to feel it, but feel good now. We're human again. Made it back down. We're going to relocate, different part of this unit.
What were you talking? We were like 45 miles on the other side of the unit, something like that, roughly.
Yes.
So by doing that big of a change, you're right. I mean, it's a completely different scenario.
Different ecosystem
different
here.
Mountains,
Yeah, it could be a different migration, different population, like who knows?
Up here. I mean, we just, it just doesn't. We don't know yet.
Yep. So we jumped on the other side, quite a ways away from where we were. We've got a good game plan. We're gonna hike into a spot tomorrow. Probably, I don't know if we're going to take our camp right off the bat. I mean, we haven't really decided everything, but we're thinking like just light assault and like just go do like a huge loop and look into some remote basins in a different spot in the unit and just see if we can turn up some deer. Like you say, the signs weren't there. I just wasn't seeing, like when you go into a good muley spot, so there's trails and there's beds. And so we got really excited. We saw trails. There was tracks we couldn't really tell, and then we kind of decided the tracks we were seeing were mostly sheep tracks or all sheep tracks. That there's domestic sheep that they take through this super gnarly country back there.
Yeah, they're working. We actually saw the herd, 500 head of sheep up there getting pushed around. I mean, that's exactly what those tracks were, and those little trails and stuff is exactly what it was.
Yep.
Very little elk sign. I mean, we went across canyon. We got into a little bit of elk sign, but I mean, it's just kind of unreal. It's not game rich what you think it would be with the country that we were in. So it just is what it is. We've never been in this unit before, and you can only Google Earth it so much. We found a gorgeous place that usually everywhere we've been, it would have been full of bucks.
Yeah, I just don't feel bad about it.
No,
we scouted it correctly. We covered all that country, looked in every drainage, and I felt like we covered it at the right times. Like, we turned up the deer that were in there. I don't think we left any stone unturned. Like, I think we killed that place.
You had 15 drops on X on this, at least, minimum. Yep. We hit every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the whole main ridge that I thought we would never, ever leave, we hit all that prime time. We did a morning. We did an evening, full day. I mean, we covered everything. If there was a deer in there, we would have saw it. We did see the few that were in there. So, I mean, I knew we were glassing it right.
We did see bucks, and that's the thing, seeing bucks. That's why we went all the way across the drainage and went for it again into that fresh spot to go look at a handful of other really good spots. It's because it's like, well, all right, we did turn up 2 shooters. There was like 4 bucks with my buck. That's 5 bucks. The buck you went after is 6.
Yep.
And then, God, we saw some younger ones,
a
couple here,
3 or 4,
7, 8, 9. I mean, we probably saw 9 bucks.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
Yep.
It is
2 shooters.
2 shooters.
7 immature.
Yep. And does up with the bucks, which...
Does. I saw 7 does the one day. The first day when we started, I don't know. How many does did you see?
4 or 5.
Yeah. So, like, we did see some deer. It just wasn't enough. And, like, after the initial pulse of seeing those deer, making our stalks, now it's like there's nothing up there. 2 of the younger bucks you saw a guy stalking down on them. There's guys are just going hard nowadays. And, they're going in there and they're looking at country and know how to be muley hunters. And it just takes a lot to separate yourself, but we got a new game plan, and we'll go check it out and see if we can.
We're both excited about it. Like I said, we got several days left, and we're ready to go right now. I mean, our gear's ready. I mean, we'll sleep, off the mountain tonight, just down by the truck or down by the creek somewhere, and then just wake up super early and start heading up and just let the lights come on and figure it out. I mean, new spot. It's always exciting when you got into a new spot. And on the way here, there was deer alongside the road. I mean, we ran into quite a few numbers that made me feel a little bit better about it. I mean, if there's deer down by the road and does jumping around, well, there's got to be bucks around somewhere. Yeah, probably up high. That's fine. But
that's where the deer want to be right now. I haven't seen anything really in the subalpine. We've maybe seen or heard of a couple deer down in there, but, I mean, we're glassing down into that lower stuff, too. The feed up high right now, you guys, is so green up high. It's just like in every deer we've seen has been up there. I mean, the buckeye stalk was on top of the mountain. It could have, like, it wasn't even in the basins like they normally are, like just living on the very top of that thing is just wild, I'm sure getting out of the bugs and good green grass up there, and I'm sure they're getting a lot of moisture in their feed. And but that was pretty cool to see where those bucks were living. But again, I had pressure. There was guys in there, and it was, I saw him bedded in his first bed, went for him. I mean, there's no excuses. I got a really good stalk, and it was me versus the buck up there. It's just that wind shift, you know.
Yeah. In bow range, and you know, you think you get up there and you got a strong thermal. Everything's in your favor. You're set up, and you're waiting for the buck to make his last move, or a move.
I keep showing you the angle that buck was.
It was not. I mean, shooting him in the bed is great, fantastic if you have that option. You did not. We zoomed in and looked at that picture tons of times now, and you did not have a shot. The shoulder, the elbow was too far back. It was covering all the way up to the beginning of his gut. So therefore, I mean, you can't shoot. I mean, you just don't have a shot.
It would just be a Hail Mary if I took it to hopefully poke it in there. But if he stands and gives me a good broadside target, like I saw one of the younger bucks stand, and it was like, well, yeah, I can hit that, you know. But, yeah, the way he was laying, I just didn't feel comfortable. But, yeah, I feel good about it.
Great play. We both had great plays. And just what happens up there when those clouds roll in, everything kind of changes for a little bit, you know. Just is what it is.
I'd love to make it happen on every stalk, every buck I want, you know. But sometimes, I mean, they're just going to win. But
no, pretty cool. Like I said, got back down to the truck, and then we had a decent meal tonight and just kind of recharge and let our shoes dry out a little bit, our gear dry out a little bit, and, let's make a push tomorrow and see what we come up with.
Yep, sounds like a plan. All right, well, we'll check in with you and let you know how it's going.
All right, guys, checking in. Got a little bit of wind noise here. Maybe I can get down the hill a little bit farther, but, well, we checked out a new area. Looks a little bit more promising. We saw, I better glass that thing real quick. I'm walking down, I see a dark figure where I'd seen a buck earlier. Rock. Oh, nothing. Dan caught up with me here. We're just walking down. I was just giving like a little bit of a closure to this deal. So, so we relocated somewhere different in the range. I like it. It's extremely gnarly country, like even gnarlier than where we were. Super steep, right, Dan?
Oh, big time. Yeah, big, huge mountains. So much elevation and a ton of snow up here still.
Yeah, a ton of snow. Glassed around, we've seen some guys and did pick out some bucks this morning. I think we only saw 2 or 3 does. We're walking through some tracks right now that are a little bit more impressive. And then we saw 3 different bucks this morning, maybe one that was like either a real big 2 or a 3 or something like that. So we just didn't turn up a shooter. We found a master vantage point. It just showed off the world up there. It just seems to be lower densities. It's tough because I never like to give in on a hunt. So even up there, I'm still coming up with the next ideas and the next theories of where we'll go. But we hold a really good Wyoming tag right now. We know we got, a day to travel home. We know we got a day to reset our stuff, do laundry, get our food reset, check in with the family. I knew it was a back-to-back hunt, but we just really want enough time there. We know it. We've killed bucks there before. Scouted it hard, we know where bucks like to go, or scouted it years prior anyways. So, we're just kind of thinking, it's silly to keep beating our head against the wall, not turning up a shooter, and spend more days on that more premium tag. And we kind of knew this was a scouting mission to begin with, to check out this unit. And man, did we see some awesome country. And I can't say that every chance we've got, we have went for it. Whether it was a stalk, relocate to a different area, hike in. I don't know how many hours of hiking we have. But, I mean, we're pushing over 50 miles now, probably 10,000 vert. The other thing, guys, you train all year for it, but you get up here with a 40-pound pack. My legs aren't sore, but they're definitely fatigued. And you show me a buck 10 miles away and I'll go for him today. But my only thought is, just get these legs recovered, get everything right. And we've got such an awesome plan in Wyoming. In fact, I think our plan stemmed from being on this hunt and thinking about it.
Yep.
And so I think we're going to do a through hike in Wyoming and try to cover
35, 40 miles and look at just a bunch of different drainages. And we just got to turn up a buck and get a chance. The only thing we can do is keep putting forth effort, but I also think we got to know when to throw in the towel. I don't mean to overrun this. It's just like I'm struggling with it in my own head because I hate that feeling of failure, man. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to shoot an animal to be successful. You really don't. It's the trip and the adventure and enjoying the process. But I'd be lying to you guys if I didn't. I want to be successful on every hunt. Yep. I love those feelings of success when you come out on top and arrow the animal you want. But, part of the reason it feels so good is it is so difficult, and we just ran into it this time around. I got quite a bit of wind noise. I hope this recording turns out, but you got to know when to quit too. And at least for us, if this was my only hunt of the year, I'd keep grinding throughout the season, just try to turn up a good, decent 4. But, with our limited amount of days and another really good tag, I just want to kill one good buck this year. And so, yeah, I know my best odds and my best chances right now are to focus on Wyoming, get home, get my gear taken care of, and get back out in the woods. So, right, Dan, you feel that same way, huh?
Yeah, exactly the same. I need a day to recover for the legs and bounce back and regroup and just kind of feel a little bit like a human again, and then give it our all in Wyoming. Wyoming's gonna be a little bit crazy. We got a really good plan, but I think having a rig on each side of the mountain range, it's going to maximize our effort of staying up there for, it could be, 10, 12 days or 9 days or whatever it's going to be. And so it just gives us a little bit more. It's going to allow us to push even harder because it doesn't matter which direction we come out on. So you're not ever going to have that feeling in the back of your mind like, man, I am like a day and a half of hard pushing back to the truck. You kill a buck and you got your whole camp. The other guy's there to help you, but the other guy's also has a tag. He's not going to bail out and go all the way back to the truck with you. So, going to help each other out, but we got a good plan. We just got to regroup. We gave it so much effort here in CO, and it was a unit we've never been to. So we gave it our all. So I don't feel bad at all about it. Feel pretty good about our accomplishment. We're going to be in ripping shape for Wyoming now.
Yeah,
ready to go.
Ripping shape for the rest of the season, right? Yeah. And there's just nothing that can stop us. We'll do anything. Just show us a buck, or just got to find some good hunting. So yeah, is what it is. But we just got to regroup and go in there and go hunt hard. The season's really young, but this is reality. This is how these hunts go. We did drive however many hours to get down here. Unit we've never scouted, we've never been to, and seriously, we each got a play on a shooter buck. We each got a play. So that's kind of a win. We didn't capitalize, because it doesn't happen every time. But we did get a play. I did get in tight on a really nice buck, and I don't know, it's pretty exciting, pretty fun. Got some good footage, good pictures of it, and it was a good experience, So I learned from it, so it's good. Dude, you're right. That's worth the price of admission, right? If you told me I had to drive all the way down to Colorado and I got a good stock on a good buck and a good chance to arrow him on one buck, where do I sign? I'm in. Yeah. And just the mental fortitude to push that many miles and that far away from the truck, and these hunts test you, especially these backcountry ones. So, you're right. The hunt's a success. It would have been nice to arrow one or two of those bucks, but it just is what it is. So I'm sure I'm getting a lot of wind noise. We're walking out. Again, it's reality, but this is what it sounds like. So we're
split emotions.
Yeah, mixed emotions for sure. Yep, I hate to give in, but I do think it's a smarter choice right now.
I do. If we want to accomplish filling a tag, this is the smartest thing we can do.
Yep.
Go regroup, let's get recharged, pound Wyoming as hard as we did Colorado, and we'll both tag out. We'll both have bucks, and it'll be a hell of a season. So yeah, I think we're good.
We are
it's
good.
A smart play.
It is. So this is what it sounds like. Head back, regroup, and we'll check in with you. I'm not sure if we'll release this as the Colorado Hopefully we're releasing it as one big podcast with 2 dead bucks in Wyoming.
There you go.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. Just got to keep putting forth the effort, Effort pays off in the end. May not pay off this time, may not pay off the next hike, but eventually it's going to pay off, So I'm with you, man. Well, dude, thanks for being such a great adventure partner.
Yeah.
1,000,000 miles.
Anytime.
Yeah, you're always willing to go for it. You got no quit in you either.
Yeah.
If
Just gotta push, man.
Yeah. I mean, if we thought it was a smarter decision to stay here for another 4 days, 5 days, we'd stay here. We really would. So, all right. Sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Right, here we go. So we got all loaded up. We're back here in Wyoming. So I've got Dan. He's loading his stuff in my truck. Got Logan. He's going to film the entire hunt. So ready for an adventure, right?
Always.
Yeah. So we're parking one truck on the far side of the range. Gonna park my bike at a middle spot about, I don't know, maybe 8 miles in, and then, we'll leave for my truck. So we're going all in. The rest of the season, whatever it takes to kill 2 bucks here. So we're pumped. All loaded up, back in the mountains. Nobody at this parking lot, which is just absolutely crazy. Yeah, I haven't seen this parking lot empty, I think, forever, not even during scouting. So I think we're hitting it about right, where the pressure gets off, like everybody goes really hard the first 5 days of season, and then they're kind of, that same tag is good for the rifle season. So should be good up there. I can't wait. Weather doesn't look great. It's it's pretty typical. Yeah, definitely some rain coming in on the way here. Pretty much rain, lightning storms about every single day. So not great for running ridge lines, but we'll just get down and make sure we're safe. We are going to bring the teepee instead of all one-man tents. So we will have that we can kind of hide inside. No stove. If we got to start a fire, outside to dry out something, we can do that. But other than that, I think we got everything loaded up, shot the bows, did our laundry, food repacked, a bunch of days, and this is our money hunt. We've been waiting all year. I say every place I go might quite possibly be my favorite, but this place is pretty special. So I just love hunting here, these different mountain ranges. I've hunted a couple different units here, and so we're going to go get up there and start surviving and hopefully start turning up some bucks and getting some stocks. So we'll check in with you. We got to do our big climb tonight. Might have to do some headlamp work. We're kind of, by the time we get all our rigs dropped off and stuff, I don't think we'll have a whole lot of light to get in there, but I'm familiar with the first spot that we're stopping. And the deal is just all these spots that I've gone, we're just linking them all up. We're all linking them by ridgeline, so we don't got to walk and then walk back to a vehicle. We've got outs and places to bring the bucks down to. I really think we're going to cover country effectively and really think we're going to turn up some good bucks. So this is where the rubber meets the road. Get our stuff on here and get to the trailhead and get trucking. Okay, we're just hunkered underneath the tree here. Yeah, we're definitely going to battle some weather. So again, I got Logan, he's going to film. I got Dan Heavrin, and so we're going to try to do a live podcast here as the hunt progresses. But didn't see any bucks coming in yet.
No, a few bugles on the way up, it sounded like. No hunters so far. So I think we got a lot of it to ourselves. We can just get up the hill far enough and find a decent place to set up the old teepee out of the rain somewhere.
Yes. There was a one horse trailer and then one other truck trailer at the parking lot, but that's not very many for this time of year in that spot, and we're not sure if they're hunting elk, hunting deer, but whatever the case is, we'll be able to get away from the pressure.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, country looks great. The little bit we got a glass on the way up here, it looks fantastic. Nice and green, and yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. The rain, positive thing about the rain is it does make stalks a little bit quieter.
Yes, it does.
So
way to look at the bright side.
Yeah, I gotta be clever.
It's gonna suck for our wind, but at least they won't hear us coming. They just smell us.
Good for stocks, bad for camera gear.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I might have to approach from below, but that's all right. We'll figure it out every day.
Yep. Hopefully, it's just like these intermittent storms that kind of come through and clear, and doesn't blow us up too bad. But so we're just sitting underneath a fir tree now. It's kind of raining. Logan got his camera gear put away, and it's supposed to break here, so we're just giving it 5 minutes and see if it'll chill out so we can make it the rest of the way up. We got a good plan for water and a camp spot tonight. Hopefully we'll be able to keep trucking and make it up there.
Yeah, get up early, and it's just a few more 100 feet, and we'll be glassing tomorrow morning. So pretty exciting, really. It's it's our opening day for Wyoming, so it's pretty jacked up about it.
Yeah. Yep. Go find some bucks. Feels like home again. It'd be nice to get in that teepee. Yeah, I think I told you guys maybe on the last recording, but yeah, gonna bring one teepee and split it. No stove, but be nice to hang out if it rains. Be able to get in somewhere and stretch out, not being a single man. So
yeah, exactly. Have a little bit of room to hang out and visit and let the shoes dry. And
well, it works pretty good too. Like 3 pounds, so you split it between a couple guys, and we got 3 guys staying in there. Might be a little tight, but
it's all right. Figure it out. I think there's room with the packs if you push them all the way to the end, and it'll be just fine.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
The trick is up here in the high country, trying to find a flat enough spot so you're not sliding into the bottom of the tent all night,
That is going to be the tough thing for us, is finding a good spot for the teepee, especially up high. But, really, like, we don't want to be on the ridge. We want to be off the ridge in safe spots. It's supposed to lightning dang near every day.
Yep.
So we're going to be working this high 10,000 foot ridge, and we're just going to have to pick when we move our camp and when we move, and drop down when it storms and camp in safe places. So that'll be the challenge.
Yeah, for sure. No, it'll be fun. Looking forward to it. Walking up in the dark with the headlamps.
Yep. Feels at home. Is it calming down now? Feels like it's getting lighter,
I
huh?
think so. The cool thing is, I know the getting wet, it's going to cool us down a bunch, but temperature-wise, it's still pretty nice.
It is nice.
Yeah, I had a t-shirt on the whole time till just a minute ago.
Oh, that's right. You were running a t-shirt, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Those raindrops had to be pretty cold.
It wasn't that bad. When you're this big, you put off a lot of body heat, so it dries your shirt pretty quick.
Oh, yeah, you went rain jacket, huh? I almost went that. Might have to here if it doesn't stop to keep trucking here, but... Well, we'll check in with you, grab some water, get in the teepee tonight, and start in the morning, so... Just a little recording. So, morning time in Wyoming, waking up.
Day 1 of hunting.
Yep. Good pull in here last night. It's raining here this morning. We've got quite the forecast in front of us, but we're just gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah, the high country, and it's just gonna either rain or snow or blow, or I don't know. Right now it's definitely raining, but hopefully it breaks here later this morning.
Yeah, so we got our stuff all packed up, ready to go, just sitting inside this teepee waiting for it to kind of break so we can go. It's all clouded in, and it looks like it's going to break for a look this morning, and we'd like to relocate our camp. And there's this sweet spot like down off the mountain about 800 vertical feet, and then there's like this knob that sits right by it that you can climb 400 feet that really gives you just the master vantage point. And I think with this weather, at least today and the rest of the week, like we're just going to have to glass when we can. When it clears, we're glassing and hunting. When we can make plays, we make plays. I think it's going to be weird, man, with the thermal winds and directionals. We're not going to get that hot afternoon, rising sun, bed the mule deer, go stalk them. Like, we're going to have to get creative. It might be like you watch them and then let them feed out in the evening and use those downhill thermals that are going to be, so prevalent, and then try to come in that way. So we're just going to have to be creative. I just don't want to be too aggressive and get busted by the wind. But I do think, too, like the more time we spend in here, the better feeling and the better... we're going to know that wind and what it's doing. Like, we just got to walk around and be checking the wind on the ridge, on this side of the face, on the other side of the face, just see what in the hell it's doing.
Yeah, and just realize that when these heavier storms come in, that it will swirl the wind and kind of mix it up and change things. So you just got to, if you are on a buck, you just got to be smart about it. Either back off or, wait for him to move into you or something. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit different type of hunting, but yeah, if we can stay dry and make a fire or something and just keep our feet and our legs kind of dry today and wear rain jackets and just kind of play the patient game.
Gonna have to. You know, the good thing is that it is cooler, and like bucks are gonna get up and move throughout the day.
Yeah, they're gonna move. Glassing at shorter distances obviously is gonna be really good. Be nice and crisp. You're not gonna get the heat waves. You know, at 400 or 500 yards, you're gonna be able to see everything. So yeah, be looking in the trees, and we'll be in the trees ourselves. So yeah, it'd be pretty fun.
Ride out storms either in the teepee, or I also think like we can go hike to the vantage point or hike to a spot, and when the storms roll in, like you say, we'll just tuck underneath a fir tree somewhere or something and dry out. Like this country, it's super rugged. We're going to be above 10,000 foot, but it's there's patches of timber around, So we're going to be able to hide from them a little bit that way. Got to be careful we don't expose ourselves on the very top if see a big storm coming in, but we'll be able to read it.
Yeah, I think it'll be just fine. We're full of water right now, and
full of water, full of food.
Yeah,
I got enough to stay in here the entire season.
Yeah.
I think between us we all do.
Yeah, I think we're sitting pretty money, so that's good. Like I said, we just need to be patient, not get frustrated if we can't. Like I say, if it doesn't break and we can't make a play for a day or two, that's hunting. So we'll just have to be patient and have fun at the camp and do our thing, entertain ourselves.
Hunt our hunt.
Yeah.
Yep. It's not. I love it when you get like a good weather window, and like we were talking about this in New Zealand or high country mule deer or sheep. Like, what's that? A bug?
Oh, it's a caterpillar.
Okay. At least it isn't a spider. That's a weird looking one.
Fish bait.
Oh, at least it's not a spider. We've only seen about 10 crawling on us so far. When it gets dark, the spiders come out. We're in a open floor shelter, but no worries. God, I had a thought there. Your caterpillar got me.
No, sorry about that.
No worries. But yeah, we're just going to have to ride it out. Oh, I was going to say, like in New Zealand, high country mule deer, sheep hunting, like what you're looking for is a good weather window. When it gets sunny and good weather, you can just cruise ridge lines and cruise country, see them, kill them, be aggressive, get good wind. And that's just not what we have, so we're just going to have to deal with it. And when we do get good weather windows, be sitting on the vantage, looking through our glass and try to locate these things and keep eyes on them. But just hunting.
It is going to defer people from coming all the way up here, though. They're going to be kind of closer to the camp, closer to their trucks, looking around, just kind of waiting for rifle season. So having a little bit of a leg up there. We already got our elevation, most of it, 90+%. So I think we'll be up here and kind of have a lot of it to ourselves. So we'll just see if there's horse traffic or what might be happening. But I think it's going to be pretty good.
And some of those trails horses can't make it on, and there's no water for a while. So I think we'll be okay. But yeah, we're sitting 9,200 right now. Looks like we got to make it to 10,000. Yeah, so climb 800 feet this morning, and pretty good vantage point up there. We'll look around, and then I'd love to go over the backside if nobody's camped there and kind of work that vantage point from there. But yeah, I'll just see.
Okay. No, I like it. Packs are about ready to go. We just got to tear this teepee down. If it stops raining.
Oh my gosh.
Wonder if they can hear it when the...
Oh, I'm sure. Yep.
All right.
It's weather, never easy, right? It's always earned. And like, you just never know what your challenges are going to be. Here we got the days. We're in the country. The bucks are here. I'm sure we haven't seen them yet, but I'm sure we'll turn up some bucks. But,
that's what I'm jonesing for. Just
I know.
Put me on them. Release. I just want to go for a while.
I know. I wonder if they're probably like 50-50 hardhorn velvet right now, I think.
What's today, September what?
6th.
September 6th. Yeah, it's going to be this week and next week. They're really going to be getting rid of it. Yeah.
Feed still looks really good up high, though.
Oh, man. It's super green. Yeah.
I'm hoping they're not too far down in secondary living, but wherever they are, that's where we'll hunt them.
Now it's really coming down.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
At least we'll get our naps in. We'll get a lot of sleep this trip.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
God dang it. Yeah, you just hate to throw on your rain stuff and just go get soaking wet everywhere.
Yeah, you might have to.
Yeah, totally.
So we can always do the fire. We can hang our stuff up around it. It'll dry out. It'll be fine.
Yeah. No, it's just what we're going to have to do. Move our camp, look around. God, we got to get some morning glassing in. All right, well, over and out. That's the report. Okay, guys. All right, took a turn for the better there. So we made the ridge, grabbed a couple vantage points, and saw a bunch of good bucks. There's a bunch of shooters in here. We're in a giant couple drainages. I mean, it's the year. I saw some with flyers. I saw some with kickers, stickers. Saw a bunch of good bucks, good frames. Just super jacked. Just want to try to... We're just walking up to a new vantage point here. So just want to try to make really smart moves. We bedded 2 bucks. The bigger buck is pushing 200. Oh, hold on. Okay, just trying to make it through the thick forest here. Walking a ridge line. But we bedded 2, but there was so many others around it that we didn't know where they were. So, just gotta get to the master vantage point and watch all these deer and wait for one to put himself in a bad position. And then me and Dan are gonna make a run for him, me or Dan. So, a bunch of ones we wanna shoot. We were coming down to make our camp, come up to this new vantage point, and there was 3 bucks right there. Just studs. The one had such big backs. Had them at 100 yards. They just kind of fed off. Feel that wind, Dan? Right at our neck. It's blowing right across this thing now. So, what do you think? A few bucks in here, huh?
Oh man, some good bucks. Kind of all scattered throughout the whole entire, these couple of drainages. They're from one end to the other. There's some down low in the trees. There's some way up high by the tops. It's a good problem to have, but it almost feels like there might be too many bucks in here, really. We just got to be really smart. We got 2 guys in here with tags. So, we just can't be selfish. We can't just blow everything out just to get 1 buck. So we just got to be really, really smart, methodical, and just kind of take our time and, wait for that one opportunity. That's a high odds stock or hunt. I don't know. I think we got a really good plan. We're trying to really get a feel. Brian and I are up on this little point, climbing up to it right now. We're just trying to figure out these winds. They just kind of keep, it's kind of like strong on the neck, and then all of a sudden it starts going up, and it's like, oh yeah, that's a nice little wind direction, but then it kind of changes again. So there's definitely a strong directional, plus there's thermals, which are kind of surprising for a cool day with complete cloud cover. You think it'd be sucking down the draws, but it's just kind of doing its thing.
Rising up.
It is rising up. So yeah, we just got to be smart. There's some great bucks in here.
Oh my God,
I cannot believe
bucks we dream about,
bucks.
dude.
There's heavy ones, red ones. There's some that we saw a really good one, actually 2 good ones that were hard horn now. There's one that still had velvet just hanging off all over his plate. Both sides of his face. He just had velvet everywhere. And there's another one with just a big old kicker off the side that's hard horned and
6-inch flyer, really
good
one.
Oh man, just a really great
We got
buck.
Great bucks. We both just want to kill a
There's
good buck.
There's one buck in here I spotted going through the trees, and we didn't have time to get the scope on it, but I don't think we seen that buck yet, but I think he is.
I don't think we've got a good look. I saw him in my binos when you spotted him.
Yeah, and it was something special.
So big and chocolate horn. But we've definitely seen bucks that are approaching that top end of what's...
Oh yeah.
This is like blows my mind when you get into a good spot like this. But effort pays off, right?
Yeah,
all of Colorado, we know
it.
what buck country looks like. All of a sudden this morning we start to see tracks. Get to the vantage point,
we
start to
pick
out
deer tracks all the way up here.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Just in ripping shape. I don't even feel like I've even pushed yet. I'm ready to go. So I'm just really excited to see what we can come up with. Probably split up tonight, maybe have a guy just hold back and see everything that comes out tonight, so we kind of know, have a count on these bucks, kind of know where they're feeding, where they're bedding. We almost need like a 24-hour session in here before we get super aggressive. Tomorrow's supposed to be the better day.
Yeah.
We're supposed to have sunshine tomorrow, and if that's the case, then we know what the thermals are going to do, so then it's just plain directional. So right now with this cloud cover, it kind of does both, but then it's going to swirl on you just constantly. So, we want to get in tight, but that kind of doesn't allow you to. So we'll
gotta play it smart.
Yeah, we gotta play smart. And
there's one camp in here. We're just really hoping we got it to ourselves.
Yeah.
Today is Friday. There's bucks all over. If we got it to ourselves and
it
can hit
like,
them when they're susceptible, gosh dang it, we're in the money.
It feels like nobody's been here yet this year. We're a week into season, right? I think, and I don't think this place has been hit yet.
Maybe chased him out opener. I don't know.
Maybe.
Those 3 deer in front of us, 2 giant bucks.
Did not care.
Did not care. They heard us coming down the trail. We're looking around. They just ended up feeding off.
Yeah, they're not nothing spooked yet.
We're hoping we can get another look at them here tonight and make a run for them. But this is a mule deer hunter's dream for the high country. We nailed it on this one. So,
it's up to us just to make
all these western states have this kind of hunting. You just got to keep searching and keep looking, and eventually you find the spots they like. And this is an old spot that I've scouted and actually hunted. I've killed a buck out of here, but it is on fire right now. So we're feeling pretty high on ourselves. Just want to make the right plays. We don't want to blow it up and be sitting here with nothing. So walking up to the vantage point, it's quite a ways back here too, and a lot of elevation.
It is. You got to work for it. You got to go. And then, the other thing, if you look at the weather advisory, it looks bad. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of guys that are like, you know what, I'll just wait for rifle, which I'm good with that. Heck yeah, rifle guys.
Yeah, I think this camp is a rifle camp, but
I believe so too.
I'm just hoping the bow hunters are done in here, you know, but we'll see. If we do have hunting pressure, we'll adapt to it like always.
Yeah, get aggressive and make it happen. I mean, how many miles have we gone this season alone just to find this? I mean, we're 60, 70 miles in high elevation, pushing hard to find this. So.
Dude, you're right. 60, 70 miles, 20,000 feet elevation. We've driven halfway across the country, and we're finally sitting here. We got it.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's kill a couple of these bucks, man. I'm ready.
Yeah, me too. All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, here we are again. You can probably hear the rain falling. Yeah, we're in a really good spot with all those bucks. We haven't spooked any of them. We were watching a really good wide 180 up on the hill, but he's just in the middle of all those bucks. So it's coming down now. We dropped some elevation, sitting in here underneath some fir trees. Supposed to be like a couple-hour storm. So see what it does. What do you guys think?
It's wet.
It is wet.
I didn't think my shoes were going to get wet this early in September, but
God, gaiters or rain pants or any of that stuff would have been nice, huh?
yeah, if you come to Wyoming, second week of season, you better bring a backup plan because your feet are going to get wet.
Man, oh man, I know, yeah. It's just been a downpour here, hiking in the rain this morning, in the rain in the tent tonight, but these storms kind of come through and pass, and all we can do is just kind of ride them out, and then get on them when it clears. But
well, we can't complain because all this rain's what caused those bucks to have stickers. So,
God, there's some good bucks around. Oh my gosh,
beautiful ones.
I love chasing big bucks, and this is like a dream come true for me. Especially this rain, it's also going to keep people out of here.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And the stock's super quiet.
I mean, who's stupid enough to hike in here in a rainstorm? Besides us.
You're listening to the three of us that are.
Oh, that's so true.
No, it could be fun. Let this pass and just see what it does with the winds. But
we're not far from that master either.
Not far from the master, not far from the bucks, really. So
we're in a good, low impact spot though, where we're not in the bucks. We were up in them this morning, and we just got out of there, got our wind out of there. None of these bucks even know we're here, and I don't think they've been pressured too much.
No, they seem like they're just, summertime living. It seems like they're not spooky at all. Or we did have one buck hear us come down the trail, and he just walked away still grazing.
We watched him bed.
Yeah, he bedded up there.
Yeah, I hope they act like that. All right, well, it's raining hard now. I better check out and turn my phone off before I fry it here. Jeez Louise, it's coming down. Okay, rode out the storm. That fire is probably loud, but just getting warm by a fire here, a couple hours storm, and thought we'd get warmed up. Boy, it's so nice to get dried out. It just helps your mood so much.
Oh, yeah. Nice, feels great.
Yeah. So the hillside's just still socked in. We moved to a spot where we can kind of see it. Kind of keeps clearing. We get kind of looks at it. And just drying out, trying to feel human. So we got the evening. See if one of these things makes a mistake. Okay, here we go. Next morning here. Gosh, we glass all day into the evening. We caught that really big buck with the giant backs came out. And he's not going to score 200 inches, but what an impressive deer.
Yeah, he's got a 200-inch frame to him for sure. He just looks like a 200-inch buck. He's just, how he's set up, he's not going to score that well, but oh my gosh, it doesn't matter. He's just one that you'd really want to take home with you.
He's got such giant backs. He is so heavy, so tall, so wide. Yeah. And you can those older deer, they get that big gut and the big gullet in their neck. You can tell This deer's about ready to go downhill, if not going downhill already, like 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, he looks like so far he's the oldest buck we've seen so far. I mean, he's just giant compared to the rest. His shoulders, everything about him's big. So he's either just a year past his prime or something. He's a big one.
We made a go for him last night, and we dropped down, and really easy approach to him. He was in a good spot. I think we could have killed him, and we just got down to the bottom. I was just watching the wind the whole time, man. It was just like we were thinking the thermals were going to be coming down, and it was right after the storm, and everything was going up the hill, and then the directionals, and it just wasn't consistent. We called it off halfway and backed out.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to get down there because I assumed, later in the evening like that or later in the day, eventually with no sun and just cloud cover, the thermals are going to start dropping on us, and it just never did. The clouds were screaming towards, up the draw, and then the directional was kind of a sideways. So it was just, the wind was way too finicky. There's just no play for us.
That wind's tough up here, man. I think what's happening on this face, this is a dominant wind side, which I always preach hunting a dominant wind side, right? Because the directionals, they're blowing against it, not over top of it.
Yeah.
I think these directionals are just overpowering a lot of the thermals that we're having.
Yeah, it just kind of makes it tough. And then the southwest wind that we usually get here is we almost need to be set up on the other side.
The other side of the giant canyon, right? About 4 or 5 miles away. But from there, we don't have the vantage point like we have here. We have the absolute master vantage point. But these bucks, they're running tight programs, man. They didn't get up throughout the day. We knew of a bunch of shooters.
Yeah, a bunch of bucks.
And we knew where they disappeared. We know they're not spooked, and we just didn't see them come out.
Yeah, exactly. And so, we spent our time. We made a fire yesterday, tried staying warm, tried staying as dry as we could. And then looking at the weather, today is supposed to be the day, right? I mean, everybody says it's sunshine, warm, freaking the day. Wake up this morning nice and early. We're up at like 5:30 or so and looking around, and I mean, it is just socked in.
Yeah, I can't see the mountain. We better get going to the vantage point. It's starting to break day here, but yeah, I couldn't see the mountain for sure.
Maybe when the sun comes up, it'll start burning it off.
Yeah.
But
burn it off. I'm sure it'll be a nice day,
Clouds are moving. You can see the clouds are moving. So
yeah, it'll clear. So that's the game
I'm
plan.
gonna finish my coffee and we'll roll out.
Get up there and kill a buck. We just got to start making plays after him. Smart plays. Can't be reckless, but fucking got to go. Oops. You can tell I'm not but that's what I'm thinking, man.
Yeah.
Just got to go kill one of those things. You just you want it so bad all year long, and they're right here in front of you, and we're in the spot, but this is a difficult spot, and they're starting to get into those tighter behaviors, where they're really putting away.
Yep.
They're not getting up throughout the day. They're bedding in deep dark timber. They're liking more cover, less open. So we're in the bucks, but we definitely got a challenge on our hands, man. We just gonna have to go for it here, there, and everywhere.
Day 2.
Yeah, second full day, third day in. I don't know how many days hunting mule deer. You start adding Colorado in this. We had a day off in between, but yeah, man, it's
going for it.
It's never easy, We've killed a lot of mule deer. It's never easy, Every year you just gotta earn it, and you gotta figure out the puzzle. Solve the puzzle, whatever the conditions are giving you, wherever the bucks are at, whatever the wind's doing, the pressure, everything. Like, you just gotta, when you can find the answer to all that, a buck dies, And so, we just gotta solve the puzzle, man, and make smart plays. But it's gonna happen.
All right, well, let's get up there.
All right. Should do a checkup here too soon.
Video.
Yeah. All right, so just checking in, guys. God, we made it to the master vantage point right on time this morning. We did see a pretty good buck down below us this morning that worked into the trees. We saw about 20 bucks or so. It was good glassing. We just didn't see the shooters.
Yeah, everything but the shooters.
Yeah, we got a pretty good buck across the way. We know where these bucks were yesterday. We're just gonna have to go hunt. So we're gonna leave here for an afternoon. We did spot one pretty good one. He's probably 180 inches. He's with 9 smaller bucks over here on the hill. So he's an option. There's a real heavy 165 behind camp here. Yeah. We didn't see any of the big ones we were hoping to see though this morning. There were some giants in here. Perfect vantage point, perfect morning. Who knows? Just mule deer are starting to tighten up their programs, and maybe they're just feeding in a little fold. But
Starting to see some hard horns, so I think some bucks are down in the trees rubbing, and so everything's kind of moving around. Some are way down low and some are way up high. It's kind of a mixture of everything right now.
yeah, look at where you spotted those 3 bucks down there. That's a good 1,500 feet lower than the top bucks we've seen. So yeah, we've got bucks in our drainage. We just need to hunt around. We need to be a little bit more aggressive. If we see one, go for them and try to make something happen. Sorry guys, I got some wind noise here, but today looks like a good day, and then it looks like we got 3 days of hell coming in. Snow, rain, lightning. So we're thinking we're going to move our camp here closer to the vantage point. There's a little bench down below us where we can kind of glass from camp. And so we're going to hunt hard today. Hopefully one of us kills a buck. And then, we're just going to have to move our teepee tonight with the headlamps and then ride out this storm and kind of anytime it clears, anytime we can see the hillside come out. The good thing is there is a lot of bucks around us moving. We saw new deer today, and we sat on this vantage point all day yesterday. So there are deer around.
Yeah, you never know. One might move in close, and like you said, you get a 15-minute opening in a rainstorm the next couple of days. He might be just right below camp, or a quick 20-minute play from the vantage point, so it might be pretty good.
Well, and we saw that buck this morning. We saw him where we saw like a 2-point last time, but he was right down below where we'd been glassing all day yesterday. So there's bucks around. We're just going to have to hunt hard. They're running a tight program, really tucking into this timber hard for all day. So they're making it tough on us, but I mean, that's the challenge we've taken on, high country mule deer. We knew it wasn't going to be easy. So we're into bucks. Just got to make something happen here.
Over and out.
Over and out. Well, Calamity Airs. I don't know if I checked in with you guys, but we had that really nice buck. He kind of went over the ledge and bedded. We didn't know exactly where he bedded in a canyon, so we've been putting on miles and elevation in the sun, made the ridge, circled around, and we caught this buck that came out. And I don't think it was the same buck.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, different buck, like same frame, but he had like a 3-inch kicker off the one side.
Yeah, it was the other one. There's no way he stripped his velvet that
Yeah,
quick.
well, the other one had his velvet. This one was hard horn, like just white horned almost, like he just scraped it. But I think it was a different buck, or we're pretty sure he was. We'll have to check the footage, but spotted him. He put away in his bed. We were going to try to approach. We had a good uphill wind, directional and thermal, so we had him beat on the wind. We were going to come right in on him where he'd feed out at us, but then there was a 2-point that went up there, bedded down, or went up above there to catch our wind. And so came around, man. It was a good play. We had a tight window. We set up on him. Logan set up above me. He had a good window. And then right when we got here, Logan saw a buck, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a weird circumstance, but it ran out. I mean, you literally set your bag down and a buck ran out. So
He ran right out of the brush?
Ran right out, and then 15 seconds later ran right back in.
I didn't even see him.
Yeah.
You said there was a buck behind that fir tree, and then I did see like 3 of them filter in there.
Yeah.
And they were all 2 points.
It ran out 20 yards out in the open and then just ran right back in.
Man. And so there's all these 2 points in here, but there's this good buck with this sticker. And we set up right. Like he was going to come out. I set up where he was going to come out. Where I saw him go in the brush was like 30 yards. And where I just saw the bucks go in and out, or where Logan saw that one coming in and out, was like 50 yards. And I set up, and Logan set up here on the hill behind me. He was like maybe, 40 yards behind me?
Yep.
And we were just waiting. And all of a sudden, this damn coyote comes walking by, and he walks,
10 yards from you?
Yeah, within feet, has no idea I'm there. The wind's right, walks right by me, and then goes right into the timber where these bucks are bedded. Yeah. So we're both thinking, oh no, it's going to blow up. And he kind of went through there, and it wasn't moments later, those bucks popped out, but they popped out like on the far side of the trees right there. And so now they're at my max range out there, and so we go to scrambling pretty good. Like that buck all of a sudden came out in the wrong spot. I look back, Logan's trying to readjust, trying to get him in frame, so he's scooting down the hill. You know, somewhere a stick snapped and those bucks turned and looked uphill and we were just frozen. But he was broadside right there. And so I eased the limbs back, and man, I settled my pin. I was trying to get it around the tree, just start settling it in, start pulling, and that buck turns around, takes a step, and then stops again broadside. Again, my pin starts to settle, and he takes a step right as I shot. I missed him. I missed him clean. I went over and found my arrow. It was just a calamity of errors. Man, I hate to miss. I was so frustrated. I think I hate to cuss or be frustrated with mule deer because they're just going to win a lot. But God dang it, we had that one. Man, we made a good play.
It just is what it is.
It is what it is.
4 hours work turns into 15 seconds worth of shit show.
God dang it, man. It sure does.
Coyote run by, and then it just all of a sudden it just happened.
God,
Instantly.
it did.
I thought they were just gonna wait, and then once the sun started creeping a little lower, they were gonna feed out, and it was gonna be over with. And as soon as that coyote showed up, I was like, oh man, this is gonna get western pretty quick.
Well, and usually when you get the wind right, you know, you got those things beat. But yeah, it's just bow hunting. You can't have it back.
Nope.
I can't believe you got him in frame. You had the shot.
Yep.
All I had to do was make that shot, and we were heroes. God dang it.
So close to being heroes.
So close. So it's so much better than I deserve anyway. So I got to sit in here with Logan. We got to suffer during the storm and put in a bunch more days. But hopefully we can make it happen. Heard from Dan too. Heard from Dan up on the ridge. I got cell phone coverage. I think he stuck that really good heavy buck. So hopefully he found him. He'd gone 200 yards, was bleeding pretty good, and so he backed out. So we better get back and give him a hand, see if he needs it, see if we can meet up with him, and hopefully he's got that buck down and help him pack it back to camp. But for me and Logan, we got our tail tucked between our legs. We got to start over here.
Yeah.
What a buck, dude.
I didn't know he was running the podcast.
What a buck. Crazy big, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of a unreal type of thing.
Yeah?
Yeah. He carried the arrow in him all the way down into that big draw way down there.
Which one? Like the main draw down there?
Yeah.
No kidding.
That stayed in him the whole time. It was actually a lot better shot than I thought. It was a great shot.
What happened on the arrow?
I
The
don't know.
broadhead?
There was no broadhead on the end of the arrow. It was spun out. Arrow was in perfect shape, but there's no broadheads. It spun out.
Oh, no kidding. Where did it hit him at?
Dude, he's bedded like you or me. He's bedded like fucking like this, you know, down with his head up. And I hit him like here.
Yep.
And it came out here.
Gotcha.
I mean, it freaking smoked him.
You got solid liver all the way, dead shot, but man, he carried it.
Dude, you should see the blood trail and the piles of blood he left. And I mean, it's like he's dead. And I was like, but I jumped him twice, trying to put another arrow in him.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I backed all the way up out of there. That's when I called you. I was like, dude, I'm letting him do his thing. I mean, he was hurting. I mean, he would go here 40, 50 yards and he would like lay down and just be fucking hurting. I was like, if I just leave him alone, he'll die.
But then after those beds, we left him alone and he went all the way to the bottom?
He went all the way to the bottom, yeah.
Wow. How many miles down there is that?
No, I'll show you. I marked it all out on the Onyx so you can see exactly where I found blood and how it all played out. Did like a little story thing for you. Yeah, it was pretty wild. He went a long ways. He bedded 6 times. And then finally I started glassing down there and I saw this log and I'm like, fuck, that looks like a deer. I was like, no, deer don't lay like that. And then it clicked. I was a dead deer lays like that. And I just was like, no way. And so I knocked an arrow and I snuck down there and I was trying to look for breathing, trying to look for him. I couldn't see the horns. Went around the tree at like 20 yards, full draw, and he's fucking just laying there dead. It's like, oh.
Dude, what huge backs. What a great buck.
Huge backs.
Shot him right in his bed.
Right in his bed, laying down. He had no idea I was there. I could have got to 40, maybe even to 30, but I felt really comfortable. I was on perfectly level ground. I ranged him like 10 times, and I was like, I feel great. I drew back. I wasn't shaky. I felt really good about the shot. I didn't think it was this buck. I thought it was a smaller one.
You did? Yeah, you texted me when you were going for him. It was on the line. This buck is not on the line,
No,
so you
but
know.
I'm not joking you. I did not know this was the buck.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't know this was the buck until I walked up on him.
Yeah, he's so tall. Man, that's a beautiful one. What a specimen.
I saved his cape just in case. Got him all caped out. Saved it just in case. I'm not sure.
Good for you. Get the meat back up here? It's still down in the bottom.
It's hanging in that tree.
Oh, cool.
It's all cool. It's all taken care of. Heavy. Oh,
I bet.
dude, so heavy.
That's a big buck. That's like half an. It's
Trying
like an
to roll
elk.
him over was
This
ridiculous.
is a 300-pound deer, I bet.
It was unreal. Yeah, freaking unbelievable.
All right, guys. So that's the first part. Amazing. Dan arrowed just a monster buck in there. So pumped for him to sharing his success, and what a cool deal. So that's in there. So we'll bring you the second part. I'll get it edited up now, and we'll get it released to you guys, and hopefully you enjoy it. So again, I want to thank Sitka Gear for sponsoring the podcast. They just build the best gear out there. I trust it with my life, with my safety. It makes me hunt longer, further, better. They just build amazing gear. You just build your system one piece at a time, all the way from hot weather to cold weather gear. I just absolutely love it. So thanks to those guys for sponsoring the podcast, and thanks for Eastmans. Thanks for Eastmans. Thanks to Eastmans. Thanks to those guys for always trusting me on the podcast and let me put out new content like this live hunt to you guys and see how it lands. And they're just great to work with and trust in me and, everything from the writing to the filming to the podcast. They're just great guys to work for. So I want to thank those guys as well and make sure I give them my full support. So, all right, let's get to part 2 of the live hunt.